And because guess what, I did it again. I woke up on a typical Dawson morning, and I started humping the bed on purpose, and it deliberately collapsed. Then I skipped onto the landing, and I saw Nathan near the stairs trying to get his little pet snail from behind the banister. So I tore the banister off and walked him across the head, and he fell down the stairs. Then I pretended to have a heart attack and jumped down the stairs and pulled Nathan's leg and grabbed the phone and forced him to call the hospital and forced his arm and hand to call and moved his jaw and made him say I need help. But he didn't need hospital, so I made sure he did go, because before that I got a lamp and smashed over his leg and busted his kneecap, and the hospital came, so Chucky came running down the stairs with a knife. I got a gun and shot the women, and Chucky jumped on the guy and stuck the needle in him and throat slided his neck the other neck and kicked him down, and then I shot up to Oldham and I fell through Oldham College ceiling, and I saw Ted running across the floor. So I put grease all over the floor and down skidded across at 5 miles a second and tripped him up, and I tied his arms and legs up and threw him at the whiteboard, and I saw Toby, Brennan, Paige, Jack, Josh, Leo, Wall, Ethan and Philip. I went up to Philip, and I tried parkering over the table, but it snapped and I popped my daws, and I said to Philip, long time no see pal, and put my hand on his clock, and ripped it off and stuck it in his mouth, and booted his head and broke the window, and smashed it over his legs and busted his rib cage. Then Toby looked at me and his mouth dropped, and he ran through the corridor, and did laps and went on a snitching spree. I ran after him and tripped over the chair bar, and I grabbed Brennan and battered the fuck out of him and threw him off the 3-floor balcony thing, and Philip's leftovers along with it. Then I looked at Paige and I grabbed Jack, and tied them both together and stretched them out like a rope, and whipped Toby, and he started crying. Then I tied it around Toby, and I pulled him back and I headbutted him and broke his skull. He screamed and cried, and then I pushed him. The whole balcony wall went through and he blew up. Then I dashed a thunder snapper at Ethan, but for more fun, longer mess around, then I made it hit the board, and it bounced back up and hit the whiteboard, and bounced back up and hit the drawers, and reflected off the drawers, and it the light, and it fell down like hard-ass Domanius. Then it bungee jumped back and hit Chucky in the head, and he got back up, and it bounced at the puzzler, and the puzzler joined in and bounced at the decorations. Then I joined in and started ramming into everything and ruined everything like normal, and the thunder snapper blew up, leaving a big hole to stick my dick in, and I accidentally slid into the paper cutter thing, and it fell over, and Jack got his foot caught in it, so I threw it at him and made him eat it, and I grabbed Paige and threw her out the window and jumped at the wall, and the wall fell down and hit 3 bars and dinged back and bounced down and hugged Wood. He fell down, and then I threw Paige down and Ashley down and Chucky down, and then I jumped down, and it was set out for me to break all the bars, and everything went clumping and banging down like a radiator, and blew up. HHDHDHFHHFH